Hi everyone, Ian from DIY Home and Gardening. Going to do another video, yet another one. It is on these Ocker, New Zealand yam. I grew some last year, and to be honest, I grew them because everyone was raving about how nice they were. New, well, I wouldn't say new, but almost new for the UK, superfood and whatnot. And I'd seen a few things on them, so I bought them, grew them, and quite frankly, well, I did try them raw like that, which is supposed to taste sweet-ish, a bit like an apple. It doesn't. It's horrible. Well, personal opinion, I thought it was pretty horrible. However, boiled up, treated as you would do a potato, different story. Not as sweet as sweet potato, but definitely not as sort of starchy as a normal potato. So for that reason, I'm going to grow them again. The only downside is that we did actually eat pretty much everything that we grew, barring these four little specimens, which you can see. So being in the light, kind of chitting, they're just starting to produce their little leaf. So it is proper name, Oxalis tuberosa, so it gets a leaf exactly like an oxalis does. It flowers like the garden oxalis, difference being that these are edible. Well, saying that, the normal oxalis root is also edible, but has a definite sharpness, wouldn't recommend it, but these are obviously meant to be edible. So what I'm going to do, start them off exactly the same as I did last year, into pots, and once they've kind of established themselves, then I'll plant them out. So a little bit like our potatoes, you start them off about the February, March time to get them chitted if you want to, but in all honesty you don't need to. They will tend to do quite well for themselves if you're leaving it late. And then once you get to April time, you're looking to plant them out. So still plant them the same way, very similar to potatoes, 4 to 6 inches below the surface of the soil. You can earth them up if you want to. Last year I didn't. I literally, well, I'll show you. Let me refocus. Bear with me while it judders fractionally. So this is how I grew them last year. Little 9cm pots. And all I did start with was I just put in about an inch of soil, stuck them in like so, in the middle, covered it over, and put it on one side. And quite frankly, I didn't do anything else with it until the foliage got above there. Once it was above there, then you could kind of see that, well, at that point you could also see the root out the base of the pot, and at that stage I then replanted them. So last year I literally just grew them in a 10 litre pot. So, but I had I bought 5 tubers last year. So one more I've got now, but yeah, I did a good crop from it. So this year I'm anticipating that I'll get the same amount. So the good thing with these, actually, with the oxalis, is that, or the ocker, I'll call it ocker. The good thing with ocker is that you harvest it really late. So when I say late, you know, you're talking December, January time. But the thing with them is that they kind of, you kind of need to grow them. Oh, Sorry, that's how quick it was. Yeah, that's literally it. Done. Put them on the side. Anyway, back to Oca. So what you need to do, you almost need to plant them up like they are. Pot them, say I did them into a 10 litre container last year. And pretty much just water them, feed them, forget about them. Just let them do their thing. And it's very tempting to be a bit like we do with normal potatoes, where you start sort of delving into the pot to have a look, see what's forming. You won't find anything forming with that. It will literally produce leaf, shoot, flower, in a manner of, different orders. 1 foot of foliage kind of above the pot, and it just sort of sits there, and it just kind of, as long as you keep it ticking over, it's happy. And it's not until the daylight levels start dropping. So I think I read somewhere it's like until light levels are down to 10 or 12 hours of daylight length, that it starts bulking up. So that kind of takes you to the sort of November time, before it starts doing anything kind of below the ground. So you don't see it developing, but you'll just see the foliage. So below ground level about November time, and then you need to keep it going. You need to protect it a little bit from those late frosts. So I just had a piece of plastic Corex, which I had over the top of the pot, supported very crudely on some sticks. So try and keep the frost off it to keep it going, and then harvest. Well, and then I think I got to end of November-ish, took the top off, let the cold get to it, which then knocked it back. And then from about the December time, you start seeing like actually the foliage is dying back down to the ground, and then you see all the tubers. So then you can just essentially pull the tubers as you want them. Personally, because it was in a 10 litre pot and it was just starting to look a bit messy, emptied the whole lot out, dried them off, and just left them in a darkened box, to be honest. A darkened box. It was an old fat ball feeding pot, so nothing scientific, just with some paper in the bottom. But yeah, piece of cake. Give them a go. See how you get on. Message me if you're not sure what to do. I don't know that I can offer you much more than I've given you, but yeah, certainly any questions, send me a message. Keep watching. I'll do some follow-up videos as they progress, and yeah, see you all soon. Bye for now. Have fun.